Hey everyone, welcome to today's explainer. So Honda's making a pretty bold claim right now. With their newly launched ZRV, they are promising a true, undeniable premium midsize SUV experience. But is it actually punching above its weight? Let's dive into the details together and find out. Okay, let's jump right into this. We're going to meet the ZRV, check out its polarizing exterior design, and step inside to look at the premium interior and tech. Then we'll measure up its hybrid efficiency, talk about a little practicality compromise, and finally wrap it all up with the verdict and the price tag. All right, first up, meeting the Honda ZRV and its rather ambitious market positioning. To really get the ZRV, you kind of have to know where it lives in the lineup. It's a mid-size crossover that slots perfectly right between Honda's smaller HRV and their much larger, very familiar CRV. It just hit the market in India on July 25th, 2026. But here's the kicker. Honda isn't just throwing another basic family hauler at us. No, they are pitching this as a premium vehicle. In India, they are aiming squarely at heavyweights like the Skoda Kodiaq, the Toyota Fortuner Legender, and get this, even the BMW X1. Globally, it's taking on the Nissan Qashqai in Europe and the Toyota RAV4 in Australia. Talk about some massive shoes to fill, right? Moving on to part two, that polarizing exterior design and what some are calling a very shouty front end. When you look at it in Twilight Mist Black Pearl next to the Platinum White Pearl, you really start to see what the critics are talking about. Honda said they wanted a clean, noiseless design. But the folks over at Top Gear, well, they called this front end overly busy and, yeah, shouty rather than sleek. That honeycomb grille definitely demands your attention. Though to be fair, the sport trims do sharpen things up a bit. It's a very distinct look. Honestly, it's one of those designs you literally have to judge in person to see if it speaks to your personal style. All right, part three. Let's look at the premium interior and tech. Does it actually validate that premium claim? Now, stepping inside the cabin, you can immediately see how Honda is trying to justify that higher price tag. Check out that gorgeous bridge-style center console. Reviewers are absolutely praising the build quality in here, and depending on your market, you are getting either really high-quality leatherette with contrast stitching or full-on leather seats. The whole dashboard layout is remarkably clean. It feels a lot like the excellent new Civic it's based on, but, just elevated. Right behind the steering wheel, Honda has dropped in this crisp, super legible 10.2-inch digital instrument cluster. It throws a wealth of information right at you at a glance, from the hybrid power flow to all your advanced safety alerts, and it's all wrapped up in this really modern, glare-free display. Then, moving over to the center stack, you've got this standard 9-inch touchscreen for your infotainment system. It sits nicely high up on the dash for easy visibility, which brings all your smartphone connectivity and navigation needs front and center, without totally dominating the whole cabin visually. And oh, just look at this eCVT gear selector layout. By ditching the traditional clunky shift lever and utilizing this sleek button-based setup, Honda has just completely opened up the center console. It totally adds to that upscale, uncluttered, and airy feel they were going for. When we pull back and look at the broader feature list, it is seriously heavy-hitting. We are talking about a 12-speaker Bose sound system, a panoramic roof on the UK advanced trims, and dual-zone auto climate control. But more importantly, the safety kit is rock solid. It features a Level 2 ADAS suite and a very reassuring 8 airbags standard on the India spec models. They definitely didn't skimp on the equipment here. To cap off the tech discussion, Honda also includes a high-resolution 360-degree camera system. This really just reinforces that the ZRV isn't just playing dress-up, right? It is bringing genuine, premium safety and convenience tech to the table to actually rival its European competitors. Moving into Section 4, hybrid performance and efficiency, and that EHEV advantage. Under the skin, the ZRV shares its hybrid powertrain entirely with the Civic, and it's actually a fascinating setup. This is a strong hybrid, so no plug-in option here. It combines a 2.0-liter Atkinson-cycle petrol engine with a really potent 181 brake horsepower electric motor. But here's the clever part. That petrol engine mostly just acts as a generator to feed the battery and the electric motor. Put it all together and you get 184 horsepower, pushing this SUV from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a very respectable 7.9 seconds. But the real payoff of that complex hybrid system? The fuel efficiency. Just look at the ARI claimed mileage in India. The ZRV achieves a staggering 22.80 kilometers per liter. I mean, compare that to the Skoda Kodiaq at 14.86 or the VW Tiguan at 12.58. It's literally not even a contest. Over in the UK, it translates to roughly 49.6 miles per gallon. That is a massive advantage over its non-hybrid rivals. Okay, on to Section 5, the Practicality Compromise, or handling versus cargo space. So the crucial point here is this surprisingly small number, 380 liters. That is the quoted UK boot capacity for a midsize SUV that is definitely on the smaller side for its class. Reviewers over at What Car pointed out that Honda made a deliberate choice here. They decided to keep the car less bulky and prioritize nimble, car-like handling and driving dynamics over creating some cavernous cargo space. Don't get me wrong, it's not cramped for passengers, but if you're regularly hauling massive loads of gear, rivals are definitely going to offer you a bit more versatility. Finally, Section 6, the final verdict and pricing. Who is this car actually for? Let's take a look at the global pricing context because, wow, it varies wildly. In India, it launches at a pretty steep £47.99 lakh ex-showroom. In the UK, it starts at £39,495, which, by the way, is about £4,000 more than a hybrid Nissan Qashqai, and it tops out over $43,500. But interestingly enough, down in Australia, despite a nearly $55,000 drive-away price, it has quietly become a massive hit. It actually outsold the HRV and CRV recently to become Honda Australia's best-selling model. Go figure. So it really all comes down to this choice. The ZRV undeniably offers premium build quality, a phenomenally well-equipped cabin, and just outstanding hybrid efficiency. But it trades away boot space and demands a premium price to give you that experience. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question for you to ponder based on your own needs. When you are shopping for an SUV, are you willing to pay a premium for top-tier refinement, tech, and fuel efficiency, or do you demand maximum cargo space and a bargain price tag? Think about what truly matters for your daily drive. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.